Woo-wee, Big Mo. Welcome to the Lawn Stars, guys and gals. What I want to talk to you about here right off the rip is about deck height changes and situations where you might have it at different heights. Normally, if you have like a Bermuda yard, you might have it at 3.5. If you have a tall fescue yard, you might have it at 4.25, 4.5, whatever. But you usually have it there and you leave it there. You don't just willy-nilly change it. But there are situations where you will change the deck height for that yard. And one that I could think of right off the top of my head is when you're aerating and overseeding, you will lower it some and cut it a little lower than normal, right? Am I right? And but there's another time when I change the deck height, and I'll tell you about it right now. And I'm going to show you a little illustration because it could get very convoluted if I'm just saying it with words out of my mouth hole. So let's do that. Let's paint a scenario where I cut this yard every Friday. I cut a yard every Friday, okay? And but I know that I'm going on vacation on June 15th, Thursday, June 15th. I'm out of here that morning. So I'm not going to be able to cut it Friday, obviously, you know. So what I do, here's my process. Okay, the latest I'm going to be able to cut it before I leave that Friday, that Thursday. See, it's already convoluted. That Thursday, June 15th, the latest I'm going to be able to cut it is Wednesday, right? And that would be the 14th. So I know that's going to happen. So on June the 9th is the last Friday that I'm going to cut it before I leave on June 15th. So how am I going to cut it? I'm going to cut it the same height. What am I going to do? Well, what I do is on June 9th, since I know I'm going to be mowing it 5 days later on the 14th, only 5 days, I will raise the deck a little bit. Reason being is I want it to look like it needs mowing when I mow it the 14th. Because if I don't mow it, if I cut it the same and it don't look like it needs it, and I get out there and they might not, it might look funny me on it. But if I waited till I got back, it would be way late and way high. So to avoid complications, I will just raise the deck height a little bit, cut it enough where it looks like I'm mowing it the 9th. Nothing drastic, but still cut it a little higher. That way, when I mow it Wednesday, the 14th, it will look like it needs mowing. So that's set. Okay, makes sense. But that Wednesday, let's move on to there. Let's move on to June 5th, 14th, before I leave. How am I going to cut it that day? Am I going to leave it the same height? What am I going to do? No, I'm going to lower it. Because I'm not going to be able to do it again till 9 days later on that Friday, the following Friday after I go on vacation. I won't be doing it till then. So, because I want to get it back on schedule, I will lower the deck on the 14th and cut it a little lower. Not drastically, but cut it a little lower than I normally do. So, while I'm on vacation, they won't be calling me up and going, hey, my grass looks like crap. It's tall as a jungle out there. So, just lower it down on the 14th. Gives you a little leeway because you know you're going to be mowing it 9 days later instead of 7. So anyway, that's the process that I have. And that's a situation where I would change the deck height. Because the wife and I like to go on vacations. And it sometimes happens in the summer because that's when you want to go on vacation. But So you have to finagle around things, you know. But anyway, that is that. And now let's go mow some at a normal deck height. And then I'll talk to you after that. So let's go do it. Like right now. Here we go with Big Mo's just the tip. Okay, what if you had this situation? What if you had a customer that had stone in a little area like this and weeds growing up through it? What if you had that situation and the customer did not want to pay you to spray it? What would you do? Would you just leave it? Which would be, I think, bad, because you've made the yard look really nice, yet you got that eyesore, you know, so it ruins your job, the nice job that you did, basically. Or would you weed eat it? That's an option, you know, you could weed eat it down, but it's not the best option. The best option, I believe, in my humble opinion, would be to spray it. And I'll tell you why. Because the first option's off the table, you know, just leaving it, because it just ruins the job, you know. Weed eating it, I don't like, because it could really cost you way more than it's going to cost you for a little spray to spray this out. It could cost you bundles, because weed eating these small stones like this, where there's a lot of them, is a recipe for one day throwing one of the said stones through a window or a windshield, or a, you know, it's just not good. It's just a recipe for disaster, I believe. So my theory on this is to spray it out. It's not that much spray. It's not going to cost you much time or money to do it, and it could save you a lot in the long run. So that was Big Mo's Just the Tip. Until next time, Big Mo spraying. Now, Big Mo signing off. Psych! That was not the only tip for today. Another tip is this time of year, especially guys and gals, watch out for things like this. You can see there's some movement there. Now, a lot of you know what that is. That is a rabbit nest, I guess you call it. And they're very shallow, and I can usually spot them pretty good, but I ran right over that one before I saw it. But luckily, thank the Lord, they were down in there far enough where I didn't harm them. Feel the warmth off that. There's one down in there too. So yeah, watch out for the baby bunnies. You do not want to hit one, because, you know, I wouldn't say it's traumatizing, but yeah, it's kind of traumatizing when you hit a baby bunny rabbit, and you don't want to do that. You want to avoid that at all costs. So unless you're, you know, somebody sadistic that would want to harm a baby bunny rabbit, and then if you are, you need to go, you got a wire across somewhere, you need to go have that checked. But yeah, if you're a normal human being with normal emotions, you wouldn't want to do that. So watch out for those. Watch out for those bunny wabbit, the little bunny wabbits. Okay, now for real this time. Till next time, Big Mo signing off. Boo!